Good morning. It is Sunday morning, and tomorrow we are going to Kentucky for the Bourbon Trail. So today we need to go get the Airstream and bring it back to our house, and we're gonna park it in the driveway overnight so we can load and clean and kind of get ready for our adventure. So we'll take you along with us. We're heading up now to get the Airstream. I think we mentioned before, but we can't store our Airstream at home, so it's stored in a little storage place about 10 miles up the road from our house, which might sound far, but it's a really quick, easy drive. There's no red lights or anything. It's just right up the highway. So we're on our way now to go pick it up.
Okay. It's been too long.
It's hot, man.
I know.
All right.
Here we go.
Trailer hitching camera.
Damn! I feel like I've done this before.
That's really easy. I don't have the key, so Josh will have to do that.
Alright, tire pressure's good. Checked all the hatches.
Oh. 2 more feet. All right, stop. It is very hot today. Our high is 90, which is actually a little lower than it has been, but Josh is gonna go ahead and hook us up and turn the AC on, so we can run our AC just on a regular house plug. It's really nice.
Alright, so I always turn the battery charger off just to take some of the load off of the plug. But you can see with the AC running, it has a soft start built in, so we're only pulling 12.4 amps, which is totally normal for a normal household plug.
I think when it first kicked on, it was like 24, maybe. It jumped for just a second, and then it...
Yeah. We were tired of putting away all of our soap and everything every time we moved the trailer, so I downloaded a soap bottle holder for my 3D printer, and I'm just going to take a measurement on here to make sure that it's the right size, and then we're going to print out 2 of these so our bottles will just be stuck to the wall instead of having to like put everything away before we move.
We'll also get them off the counter, which will be nice.
Yes.
So I mentioned that we've had the Airstream for almost 6 months. It'll be 6 months next week. And during this time, we've just been playing a lot with like where we want to put things, how things work well, how to organize things. And one thing I think maybe I've kind of got figured out is under the sink. So down here, so Airstream gives you the trash can, which is really nice. And we don't really have anything behind there. I guess we maybe could put a couple things, but mostly just the plumbing is there. And then on this side, we've got a pull-out drawer, and this works really nicely. So you can see our coffee pot sits here. Of course, when we're stationary, this is on the counter. It's really small, doesn't take up much space, but for travel, this is a good spot for it. We've got the trash bags just right here where you can grab them. Our cleaning spray that we use the most. This is where our dehumidifier lives when we're not using it. So this is just a nice spot tucked out of the way. And then even like I was just using these, the Lysol wipes. If I pull this drawer out, I don't even have to take this out. I can just open it and get a Lysol wipe right there. We've got Pledge just the lemon pledge, which is what you're supposed to clean the shiny walls with, the aluminum, and then just a couple of other cleaners, Goo Gone for sticky messes, and Goof, I think this is Clean Green or Simple Green, which is kind of Josh's favorite all-purpose cleaner. So yeah, that's pretty nice space. And then I think we showed in a previous video our water system, or if we haven't shown you that, we do have a water filter that is utilizing that like cavernous space back here. And it's pretty easy to get to change the filters. So that's one successful organizing spot so far. So in our 6 months of camping on weekends in the Airstream, we have figured out that we really like the dinette folded down into the bed or lounge orientation. The dinette's really nice. It's really comfortable. I did recover the seats, so they're not that kind of like pleather or leather anymore. But we're just really more like when we come in from outside, we like to just lounge, turn on something on YouTube, and it's just not super comfortable to do that sitting at a table. So we're coming up with a couple of ways to make this a little more comfortable when it's folded into a lounge. So I've sewed some matching cushions. So these match the same fabric I used on recovering the original cushions. And so I've made some extras that now will go on the back of the sofa. Or to make it like a sofa. So I bought some pretty dense foam, and this is 4-inch foam, and then covered it with a little bit of batting just to make it a little softer on one side. And of course have my zippers so I can remove the covers if I need to. And then they go up against the back here. So let me show you. So now we've got a cushion up against the back. Before, you kind of had to just like stack up pillows, but you've got the window pulls here, which are hard metal and not fun to sit up against. So I measured and went a little bit taller so that these just rest up against there, and it's foam, so obviously it's not a big deal. But yeah, let me make it all out and I'll show you kind of the finished product. And I wanted to make armrests. But I was 1 yard of fabric short, so I have to decide if I care enough to order another yard of fabric that might be slightly different because it's going to be from a different dye batch. Anyway, so I made one since I had the fabric for it, and I'm thinking we'll put it down at the far end because if you're sitting watching TV, you can kind of angle in this corner here and it's pretty comfortable. So, same as the other. I actually think I wrapped the entire thing in batting on this one because I wasn't sure which side it was going to go on. So I made that one just a tiny bit shorter to account for the depth of the back cushion. And then the height of it up against the wall, I wanted to go up, I think, the full 12 inches of the wood, but my foam piece that I ordered, wasn't big enough, so I just used what I had after I cut these. So it's about 10.5 inches, which is actually okay. It's not too bad. The other thing I have to make this really comfortable as a sofa is we have some old throw pillows off of a couch that we recovered in a different fabric so they don't match anymore. So I actually pulled those. They were in like the sealed bags in the top of our closet. So I actually just pulled those out. They're still a little wrinkly, but I think they're going to work pretty well. I'll grab those. Alright, so now we have more of a sofa and a lounge for us to sit and hang out in the evenings. I'll show you this before I put kitty litter in it so that you don't have to see kitty litter. But I was going to show you what we've been using when we bring the cats with us. So this door, we actually just take off. It's only 5 screws. And this little spot under the dinette becomes the cat's little litter area. And we can actually keep the scoop and everything in there, which is nice. And then I was gonna look for a litter box. I might eventually order one online, but for now I couldn't find anything that was the exact right dimensions. But these handy foil jumbo meal prep pans actually fit really well in here, and it gives a good, pretty good litter depth, and it also, you know, has a pretty high side, so it holds things in. And then honestly, it was a 2-pack, and last time we just tossed the whole thing when we got home. So that's how we're doing cat litter on the road this time. The other thing is this little pop down guy. We take him off too, and this is where the cat's food and water dishes live. And you see they're just the perfect, these were some we already had, and they fit in here just fine, and they have little rubber grips on the bottom so they don't slide around. I do just empty the water before we move, and we'll take this door off and leave it here. We won't bring this with us. And when the cats aren't with us, we can put other things in there. So Josh is working on sanitizing our freshwater tank. We realized we accidentally left it about half full after our last trip about 6 weeks ago. So he just put about a half cup of bleach in there. Our freshwater is really small, so he put about a half cup of bleach and then is filling up the tank. And he's gonna go run the faucets and just kind of clear everything out. Let it sit for an hour, and then we'll flush all of that out before we fill it back up again. So Josh 3D printed these little soap dispenser holders. No, they're not the same size. They're scaled for the 2 bottles that we're using. These are comically large. We know that. Not 100% sold on the design, so we're going to test these out with command strips. So I've got some Velcro command strips, and I'm going to attach these over here, and we're going to test them out on this trip and see how we like them. And Josh has already found another design that he says might work a little bit better. A little less material. These are ridiculously large. So if we don't like these, then he's gonna print that other design file. But we're gonna give these a try. And if we do like them, we'll probably just eventually put them up with like 3M tape instead of command hooks. These will eventually succumb to the heat since we leave this thing stored without the air conditioner on. Alright, there's one. Okay, that doesn't look terrible. Let's take a closer look. I like it. Hopefully they hold up. They're all the way at the back of the trailer, so it's going to be pretty bouncy back here. I'm going to lock both of the dispensers. This one is this way. That way if they do fall off, maybe they won't go everywhere. Neat. Good morning. It is Monday morning, just after 9 o'clock. And, well, we wanted to leave at 9 o'clock, but oh well. And Josh is going to weigh the tongue and just make sure we're set right for towing with the Jeep. And he can put some water in the tank, which is in the very back, to kind of offset some of the tongue weight. So that'll give us an idea of how much water we need to put in. And then we're going to hit the road. We got to get the kitties in the Jeep, but we'll do that very, very last.
So we got this guy right here to kind of measure our tongue weight. The That's one of those things that it's like a really big safety factor that I don't think a lot of people check. So it's just a spring in here, and there's a scale on this side, and you just lower the trailer on it until the foot pad comes up, and then you have a estimated tongue weight. What we usually do is put a little bit of fresh water in the back. Since our fresh tank is in the very back of the trailer, it kind of offsets some of the tongue weight, just to kind of balance it out and make it drive better. I'm going to put in 40% and see what happens. When we first bought the Airstream, we got the tongue scale and kind of measured it to make sure that we were within our limits. And we found out that putting like half a freshwater tank in would kind of balance it out to give you like a better ride. And that's kind of what we've been going with so far. But we changed a couple of pieces of equipment around, the way we like carry the cargo on the inside. So I just wanted to like measure it again before we went on a long trip. Okay.
All good?
All good.
All right, it's 9:53, so we are we are just about to exit our neighborhood. Did I say I wanted to leave at 9? I really meant 10. We're leaving 7 minutes early. We have what would take in a car 7 hours to our final destination for today, which is a KOA that's in Kentucky. So it is, 466 miles. I feel like we'll be lucky to get there before the office closes, because that's just how we travel when we're towing. We try to take our time and are not in a hurry. We stop when we want to stop. We stop for as long as we want to stop. We sit and eat. We don't rush or try to eat and drive, especially when towing. So it takes however long it takes. And then tomorrow we only have about a 3-hour drive. And we actually go to our first distillery on our way tomorrow. We're stopping at the Kentucky Artisan Distillers, which is where Jefferson's Reserve is bottled. So, yes! That's gonna be a good one to start with.